So while I have the opportunity, he's added years to my life to let me turn around. Is there anybody here who recognizes that the only reason you saw another birthday is that if the Lord had took you while you were still in your youth, if the Lord had just took you yesterday, you wouldn't be here today, but he looked beyond my youthful foolishness. He looked beyond my arrogant attitude. Bless me with one more year for me to get my mind focused on him, for me to recognize that it's not about me, but the only reason I'm here is that down through the years, the Lord have been good to me. Somebody here today ought to recognize that he withheld judgment in Romans chapter 3, verse 24 and 25. It allows me to know that I'm justified freely by his grace. It's not in me, but it's all in him. And it's not in him, but it's in Jesus Christ. Somebody here today ought to recognize that if you've seen Jesus, you've seen grace and mercy. If you've seen Jesus, you've seen love and joy. If you've seen Jesus, you've seen somebody who is able to lift me up and turn me around. And so I'm glad that I may not be able to describe how good he is. I may not be able, according to Jeremiah 17, to explain the unsearchable riches of my God's glory. But one thing I can tell you, like Jeremiah in Lamentations, morning by morning, new mercies I see. Every day that I rise, I thank God that it's his mercy. I thank God that it's his grace that brought me over. What have I seen? I've seen him look beyond my faults and fight my every battle. What have I seen? I've seen him work on my behalf when I wasn't working for myself. What have I seen? I've seen that God so loved me that he gave his only begotten son. No, I wasn't there when they hammered his hands, but I can hear the hammer ringing. No, I wasn't there when they nailed his feet, but I could see the blood streaming down. No, I wasn't there when he looked to the hills and said, Father, into thy hands I commend my spirit. I wasn't there, but I'm so glad that at the cross, where I first saw the light and the burdens of my heart rolled away. I'm so glad that one Friday morning, Jesus took my sins. Can't talk about yours, but I know he took my sins, nailed them on the cross, and declared that I was justified. He hung his head, locks of his shoulder. He died to declare I was sanctified. And then one Sunday morning, he got up with all power in his hand and declared I was glorified. And I'm glad that the life I live is because he got up. He didn't have to do it. He didn't have to do it. But I'm so glad that he did. And that's not all, but he left me in the hands of somebody who walks with me, talks with me, tells me I am his own, and the joy I have none other can tell. it feels to be kept by Jesus. Anybody here know that you're kept? How do I know I'm kept? Because he told me that if I die, I got to go, that he can come down. And I'm glad that he didn't leave me alone, but he sent the Holy Ghost who walks with me, talks with me, and tells me I am his own. I've got the clothes, but I've got to tell you, we talk about the Father, we talk about the Son, but it's the Holy Ghost who opened my eyes. It's the Holy Ghost who unstopped my ears. It's the Holy Ghost who brings down power. It's the Holy Ghost who allowed me to say, Jesus is a friend of mine. It's the Holy Ghost who brings back all things to my remembrance. When I'm down, the Holy Ghost says, Jesus will lift you up. When I'm in my midnight, the Holy Ghost says, what a friend we have in Jesus. When I'm hungry, it's the Holy Ghost who says, he said, I am the bread of life. When I want to give up, the Holy Ghost says, they that wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. It's the Holy Ghost who won't leave me alone. And I'm so glad, I'm so glad that I'm not alone. But in my midnight hour, he brings me light. In my sorrowful moments, he brings me joy. And in my chaotic times, he gives me peace. Holy Ghost, don't leave me. Holy Ghost, walk with me. Hold my hand. Be my guide. Be my friend. Come, sweet dove. Come, heavenly host. Descend on me. Because in him I got all power.